Welcome to How Smart Are You? IQ, can this number determine how smart you are? By Marta Daza at Concordia University. Psychologists as well as neurologists have tried for centuries to answer why some humans are smarter than others. To provide answers, psychologists have developed the well known, at least by name, IQ test. But can this battery of tests really determine how smart a person is? We're about to uncover some interesting information about intelligence and how this impacts learning and teaching in the classroom these days. Carey explains that, in short, it is not that there is a right way to learn, it's that there are different strategies, each uniquely suited to capturing a particular type of information. A good hunter tailors it to the prey. IQ, is it a myth or is it true? There are so many factors that interfere daily in how we understand, perceive, and interpret the world. For some activities like school, we need an academic response. For sports, we need physical activity. For listening to music, we just need to be able to hear. Although we cannot say that any of these activities makes us better than the rest of the people. But can we be better than our peers academically? Can we be more agile, faster, and flexible than other athletes? Or can we create music on our own? Yes, we can. Dr. Jeremy Dean writes about the IQ test in his blog titled IQ is a Myth. Intelligence has at least three components. In his article, he shares the results of a study which concluded that one number does not accurately describe a person's thinking skills. The article explained that there are three components of intelligence: short memory, reasoning, and verbal ability. So, to explain a little further, multiple intelligences by Dr. Howard Gardner. So, what does the research say about this myth? Howard Gardner, professor of education at Harvard University, developed his theory of multiple intelligences. His work was an effort to prove that a single IQ test could not determine a person's ability to learn, that in fact humans have many intellectual capacities. Howard himself explains, I claim that human beings have a number of relatively discrete intellectual abilities. IQ tests assess linguistic and logical mathematical intelligence, and sometimes spatial intelligence, and they are a reasonably good predictor of who will do well in a 20th, note, not 21st, century secular school. So, the multiple intelligences in the classroom, what does this really look like in the classrooms these days? When we think about what teachers should do in the classroom, it is easy to jump to the conclusion that they should incorporate everything that we see around us these days: technology, innovation, transformation, original work, creativity, etc. Understanding how students learn is a small piece of the work ahead in education. In an article titled Improving Students' Learning with Effective Learning Techniques, Promising Directions from Cognitive and Educational Psychology, published in 2013, a group of scholars shared their findings of the use of 10 learning techniques and how they impact effective learning. The techniques included elaborative interrogation, self-explanation, summarization, highlighting or underlining, the keyword mnemonic, imagery used for text learning, rereading, practice testing, distributed practice, and interleaved practice. Their results showed that the effectivity varied across the four variables they used. Some of the techniques could not be measured as they wanted, and for some, the evidence of their efficacy was limited, whether because they are new or have not enough implementation time in the classrooms. From this study, I was able to conclude that more importantly than finding effective learning techniques, we should focus on how our students learn. Understanding what motivates students as well as what are their interests and what are their skills. Once we have this knowledge about our students, we as educators will be able to provide information that is relevant, easy to remember, and connected to other subject areas and life itself for them. So let's learn about how Howard Gardner's theory has offered to us these days when it comes to understanding how to serve our students in a more efficient and effective. So what does the multiple intelligences look like in the classroom? Let's look at what teachers can do to help their students improve by using the multiple intelligences. The linguistic intelligence. These are the kids that basically are very good with words. They can write, they can read, and the roles that they can play in the classroom or in society, they're going to become the copywriters, the editors, these historians, anything that has to do with verbal and logical communication. In the classroom, teachers can use them to help with oral presentations, to write and take notes from the class, and to help their students with everything that they can put in the second intelligence that we are going to discuss is the logical mathematical. So in the classroom, these are the students who are very good about analyzing problems from the top of their head. They're able to detect patterns. They're very good at connecting and making relationships between cause and effect. What are the roles or what are the professions that these people with logical mathematical intelligence are more capable of doing and doing well? Analysts, arbitrators, bankers, engineers, researchers, among others. What can a teacher do in the classroom to help these students? These are the students that can easily help you manage the computer, creating a process, developing their own mathematical problem solution steps. So this is how we can use the logical mathematical. The next intelligence is the musical intelligence. These are the students that are very good with rhythm, with sound, with music. They appreciate the use of sound. They're able to recognize and understand the patterns in music and sounds. Later on, they can become composers, acoustic engineers, DJs, musical instrumental repair specialists, singers. What can the teacher do in the classroom to help these students develop their intelligence? They can probably create a rap for a concept that they're learning. They can create rhythm. They can write poems. They can whistle a tune that is going to help the class remember some information that they're learning. The next multiple intelligence that we're discussing is the bodily kinesthetic. This one are the students that are able to control movement, that they have a very good coordination between eye and body. They have manual dexterity, physical agility, and balance. What do these students become? They can become athletes, biologists, dancers, geologists, among others. What can the teacher do in the classroom to help them? These are the kids that can easily interpret a speech. They can prepare samples of magnification and testing. They can put together a piece of information for us and showing it with their body. They can do anything related with their body and create something that is going to help them remembering. The next multiple intelligence that we're going to discuss is the spatial visual intelligence. These are the students that are very good with images and space. They're able to interpret and create visual images. They're able to understand the relationship between images and space. Later on, these students can become architects, artists, cartographers, city planners, engineers, among other careers. What can the teachers do in the classroom to help these students? These are the students that can easily create a map for you. They can create their own graphic organizers. They can create maps and ways to organize things in the classroom, books, materials that the teachers have, their own desks. These kids are very good at organizing and planning on how to organize. The next intelligence is the interpersonal intelligence. These are the students that care about others' feelings. They're able to relate to others. They're able to interpret how we behave the way we behave. They're able to see the other person's point of view. These students can easily become coaches, mentors, counselors, educators, politicians, psychologists, among other professions. What can the teachers do in the classroom to help these students achieve more? They can easily work with other students as peer tutors. They can mentor other students. They can coach and they can help you pass information from student to student. The next intelligence is the intrapersonal intelligence. These are the students who are very self-aware of themselves, their abilities, their struggles, how to improve, how to adapt to change. These are the people that can easily connect to others later on as adults because they're able to recognize where they are and how they adapted to change. What teachers can do in the classroom is use these students to relate to others to create meaningful and So, in conclusion, we can see that IQ numbers can only represent a fraction of what humans can truly do and think. There are many other capacities humans have that cannot necessarily be measured by numbers. IQ tests can provide information that could be used just as such, a source of information for some areas, but not as the determining factor of what a person is capable of. Teachers should collect and review data all the time, just with the purpose of having a holistic idea of their students rather than for labeling them. In the classroom, teachers should dedicate time at the beginning of the school year to get to know their audience, what their interests are, what motivates them, what roles will they be more willing to do in class based on their skills. While scientists try to develop tests and assessments to measure what humans can do and learn, teachers can and should dedicate time to continue providing information in ways that are meaningful and relevant to their students, in ways that are more accessible and purposeful for us. Thank you for watching.